What is going on? Hundreds of millions of OTG podcast listeners and viewers at home. Phil and I are back in the saddle. But it didn't come without a little bit of work. These GoPros, dude.
I feel like I was ready to podcast 30 minutes ago.
Well, I'll tell you what, if trying to figure out what was wrong with the GoPro was a profession, I'd be rich right now because I've been putting in the work.
Not fixing them.
Figuring out.
Trying to take the time to figure it out.
Yeah. So,
anyways. Is that my phone? Andy Vercella just got shouted out on our podcast.
Why did that start?
I don't
why'd
know.
that happen?
I think it was something on my Apple Watch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because it was, I went to see what episode number we were on the podcast. And so I guess since I was listening
Hey,
to that
lucky for Andy Vercella, he's going to gain some following
that's what
now.
I'm saying. He got shouted out on our podcast.
Yeah, man. That's funny. So we didn't want to start off on a negative note. GoPros gave us some problems, but we won. We're winning right now because they're recording. And man, we got our first special guest on today, my man Jack.
Oh, Jack.
So
we'll get a picture of Jack, clip him in here.
Yeah, we'll clip him in here.
Picture of him right now, actually.
Well, I can send you some. I got some pictures.
Okay. Let me get let the viewers get a live of what he's
there
looking
he is
like
right
now.
there, man. So he's very excited to be here. Jack is a foster dog that so there is a rescue that Jessica and I follow, and they posted him. He needed a foster. He was in the shelter and just wasn't really in a good spot, dude. He was in pretty bad shape, and we decided to foster him and nurse him back to health, and he's been doing pretty good. So Jack's in here with us today so we can keep an eye on him while we're recording. And man, he just can't. He's so excited.
Oh, yeah. He can't even contain himself.
Yeah, well, how's it feel to be famous there, little guy? Man, so let's get into this, Phil. So this is episode number 17, which is your lucky number.
It is.
Phil, hey, number 17's been your thing for a long time. It's very important. And
I hope we got a good topic today.
So the topic is, I think it's really, it's very relevant for the time of year. And it's basically, we're going to talk about what to do and the importance of getting back on track with your fitness routine, your diet, and your exercise when you do fall off of it or deviate or whatever.
I'm a pro at falling off.
Yeah, and same. And I just wanted to talk about, like I said, with the holidays, because you always got the tempting food and you got large family gatherings and stuff. And I'm not going to be the guy that says, oh, you have to refrain and that's the only way. And I don't know what your goals are, and that may be the case. If, you're a professional bodybuilder and you got to eat a certain thing to get your paycheck. But I think that it shouldn't be that big of a deal because, the old saying, most people that are obese or overweight didn't get that way in one day or from one meal. And most people that are, I say most, nobody who is obese or overweight got that way from one day or one meal. And nobody who is ripped, jacked, shredded, in shape, whatever you want to say, got that way in one day or one meal. And so, with the holidays coming up, you're likely going to eat a meal that's off of your plan, that's pretty high calorie. And what are you going to do when that happens? And how should you let that affect you mentally? And we'll kind of just go through that, what I do, what you do. And then we'll just talk about, like I said, what I do, what you do, and the importance of how you react once you do that.
Yeah, I think that sounds good. I know my outlook is a little different than it used to be. And I must say as well, I already got a head start on you on messing up. So we're early December, Halloween, there's candy all over the place.
Well, that's a big one. People don't realize that.
Man, those little snack size candies, those are the worst.
Well, so at the office where I work, you might think that messing up during Thanksgiving and Christmas, which, it's given, is more likely. But I don't know. People bring all their kids' candy in, and they put it in the kitchen, because we have like a area where if you want to share with the group, you put your stuff, like you bring a bag of candy, and
Right.
Halloween, dude, it really does start at Halloween.
Yeah.
They bring all the bite-sized, like you said.
The bite-sized ones are worse because if I eat a whole candy bar, I'm like, man, I ate a whole candy or whatever, and you feel you're like, oh yeah, I'm good, and I feel kind of bad about it, whatever, I move on. With the snack size ones though, you eat a candy, you eat 2 or 3 of them every hour or two, and now you just ate 3 whole big candy bars.
I feel like it's easier for me to refrain from eating a large candy bar than it is the smaller
No doubt.
ones.
The small, it's
you don't feel so bad about it.
Exactly.
It's a mental thing. You're like, oh yeah, it's just a little snack size. And when you have 87 of them, it's actually like 5 big ones.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. And that's very much what happened to me for a while. And, you know, my diet's been kind of off, but I'm more of a take it day by day, you know, try to wake up with a positive attitude the next day. I'm really hard on myself. Ask, like, if you could ask anybody that knows me, like ask Nicole, you know, I'll get down on myself, but the next day you just get right back on track. You know?
Yeah, and I think that's kind of where we were going with this. So I'm like you said, you and I or I guess everybody's a little bit differently, but I think that now, like I said, it's early December now, so we've already had Halloween, we've already had Thanksgiving, and what I like to do is when I know these holidays are coming up, and I know I'm going to be in a situation where there's a lot of food. Step one is to try to plan for it. So I'm like, oh, okay, I know that on Thanksgiving Day or on Christmas Day, I'm going to eat a big gnarly meal, ham and turkey and dressing and whatever, and probably some pie because pie is life. And then, you know, I kind of know that's coming up. And I try to, when I do know that's coming up and I do know that that's what I want to do, I will try to keep the calories much lower earlier that day. So like when I wake up, try to just stick to maybe protein and fat, maybe a light carb, cut out a meal before, you know what I'm saying? So you're not eating all your normal meals and then stacking the Thanksgiving meal on top of it. That's just kind of one trick that I like to do. But I think more importantly than that, for me, in my mindset, and I think for most people, even if you don't realize it, the best thing to do is don't let that meal or that mess up ruin your entire day or your entire week. So what I mean by that is like, and I'm very, very guilty of, oh, well, I ate a bad meal or I ate a piece of candy or I ate a dessert. Well, the day's shot or the weekend is shot. You know, I might as well, it's Saturday and I ate a piece of pie. I might as well just eat like hell. And then on Monday, I'll get back on it or on, you know, at the end of the weekend or at the end of the week, depending on what day, right? And I've done that before in the past, and I continue to eat like hell for 2 or 3 more days a week until I start back up. And go back to what I was getting at is immediately for my mindset and my, I guess I don't want to say the type of person that I am, but for me, immediately getting back on track is like the only way to go. So like you said, you wake up the next day with a new mindset, but like say if it's Thanksgiving or Christmas Day and you eat a big lunch with your family, you do it, you eat it, you indulge, and then you're done with it. You know what I'm saying? You eat that meal and then it's like, okay, boom, I'm on track now. Like my next meal is going to be a planned on my regimen meal. I'm not going to keep grazing here all day long. I'm not going to let it rest, or I'm not going to keep going through the weekend and eating leftovers every single day, which I'm guilty of all these things. That's why I'm talking about them. But yeah, I eat that meal. I have that day or whatever it is that I have planned, and boom, I'm immediately back on track. And yeah, it doesn't feel good to mess up or go off of your diet, but you know what I found that does for me is it really boosts my confidence in myself. So I know that in the future, I'm going to do my best not to mess up. But if and when I do, I know I rest assured. Oh, is that my man Jack over there?
Yeah,
he wants to chime in.
Jeez.
What's he doing? Snoring?
Snoring, yeah.
Oh, well, he's tired from being famous. So
tough life.
I don't even remember exactly where I was at.
Well, I had a thought because you were talking about how if you go off track and then just eating like hell for the rest of the day or another day or two, and that can very much happen. I think that's kind of taking it to the extreme on one end, the extreme of the other end, which I used to actually recommend. And now I think as I've gotten a little older, been through more experience, I've also worked with a lot more people. So I've had some more experience with other people. what I used to do and even recommend to some people when you have a meal like that is to either fast into it, like don't eat at all before, like fast all day, or do a long fast the next day, like afterwards. And I used to do that a lot. And it was fairly effective, but it's very difficult. But now my outlook has kind of changed.
Okay.
Like a good example is just yesterday, I went out to eat with Darryl and I's, one of our childhood friends.
My man.
Rich.
Richie.
Me and Rich went to this sub shop down the road, and it was awesome. It was very good. And it was like a little, if you've never been, it's like Antonini's, I think is what it's called.
Shout out Antonini's. He's going to sell out tomorrow now.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
Now that he's on the OTG
and it's
podcast.
It's like a couple of Italian guys in there, like real old school.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so but
They
anyways.
ain't messing around. Them subs are good.
I ordered the large.
Of course you did.
Ate the whole thing.
It's the only way to go.
Bag of chips. I got the baked chips.
Oh, the baked ones. They're still awful for you people.
But I ate the whole sandwich, and I was very full. And that's when, remember, I told you I was going to go play some disc golf, but you hit me up to go to the gym. I was like, all right, let me go work out. And I was so full.
I remember you were uncomfortable.
I was bloated and everything. And I was considering just like not eating for the rest of the day, even after I worked out, and then fasting again today. But I had made a decision. Nope. What I've been doing recently and what's really working for me is just to get right back on track. So you know what I did? Even though I wasn't super hungry, I just went ahead and ate my regular dinner.
Yep.
I went ahead and ate my regular dinner. I had a positive outlook about it. I went on what I did do is I went on like an extra long walk with Toby, who's our dog. And
Toby's famous now.
Toby's famous now too, right? With Jack.
All the girl dogs are hitting him up now on Pup Book or whatever it is that they do.
But I did go on an extra long walk.
Yeah.
I did do that. That's one thing I did a little bit different. But other than that, I ate my regular dinner. I had my steak with sweet potato like I usually would.
Oh, yeah.
And just right back to it. And I feel great today.
So everything you described, basically, you talked about you immediately got back on track.
Yeah.
You went to the sub shop. You ate the extra long sub, which is delicious.
It was good.
And then you went essentially straight to the gym and trained. I mean, there wasn't much time between.
Yeah, it was like an hour.
Yeah, it wasn't much time between.
Yeah.
So you didn't even plan on training that day, but you did. So you immediately went to the gym. You trained. Then you went on a long walk. And then that night, the next meal, you're back on track.
Yeah, I had my regular dinner.
And I think for me, and I guess for you too, mentally, that is that's very important. It has a very positive effect to know that, okay, yeah, I messed up, and boom, you're immediately back on track. You shift, you refocus, and I think like I was getting at before we kind of went off talking about that, is it really builds my confidence in myself. And so what comes with that is I don't feel as bad, I think. Like, so the next time that I mess up, I'm not using it as a get out of jail free card to continuously mess up.
Right.
But I know that when I, like the times that I do mess up, I can look at myself in the mirror and go, not a big deal. I'm not going to ruin the week. I'm not going to ruin the weekend. I'm going to get right back on track right now. I've done this before, and I'm going to continue to progress because I didn't make all my gains in one meal. I didn't lose all my gains in one meal. And, I haven't, no physique changes come with one meal, in real life. Maybe professional bodybuilders, the day of a show or something, perhaps they can make some changes in a day. But for 99.9% of the world, you're not going to make an impact on your physique with one meal on one day.
Right. I think you made a good point too, something to keep in mind. And I never thought about it very much before, but now that you said it, I've done this before, and I've justified eating something bad.
Yeah.
Because I know that I can get right back on track. And I think that's a dangerous...
Yeah, that's a slippery slope.
Dangerous spot to be in.
That's a slippery slope. It is. And I'm not saying that that's what you should use it as or anybody should use it as.
Yeah, I just think that it's a good thought to have, to know that it's not a get out of jail free card.
Yeah, know that it's not. But also I think the opposite of that is also unhealthy too. And you live your life in a state of fear, thinking that if you mess up one time, everything's lost and you can't get back on track and everything you've ever done to try to achieve a nice physique is in vain because of that one meal. And that's not true either.
Right.
And I think that could turn into something really unhealthy too, especially mentally, right? That people think that they can't go to a family dinner or they can't go to some type of gathering ever because they know that they're going to mess up. And I don't think that you should plan to mess up, but, and maybe some people, they got big goals and that's what they want to just not go to those things because they know they can't, they can't.
I've been through that phase too. And it's funny that you mentioned that, and sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I was having a conversation with a client the other day that they've been, in the gym for about 2 years, lost 40 pounds.
Nice.
They're currently in a phase, and I think I've definitely been through this phase before. You probably have as well. But fitness is a long game.
Oh, yeah.
And within the game of fitness is several phases. And this is with health and fitness just in general. You're going to get started. It's going to be hard. And it's going to suck. You're going to hate it. It's part of the game, right? It's a phase. Then you're going to go through a phase where it gets a little bit easier.
Yep.
And this is probably somewhere in the 3 to 6 months time frame of consistency.
Work, yeah.
It gets a little bit easier. And then I think something that all long-term committed people probably go through, 7 days a week, twice a day, I'm working out.
Yep.
And I know I've been there, and I probably did it for maybe a year.
Oh yeah.
7 days a week, twice a day. Cardio session, lifting
so
session, 7 days a week. I got to do this. This is my goal. This is all that matters. You gotta. Unless
you're a paid professional athlete, that's really not healthy either.
That's right.
And even this is probably not actually physically healthy, but if that's your job, right? That's what you get paid to do, I guess, right. In those situations. But
and I forget, I don't even remember why I made that point, but I just want to kind of reiterate there that unfortunately it's not an easy question to answer.
Right.
But there's a healthy middle ground in almost all this stuff.
Yeah.
And
you said something very important a second ago. Fitness and healthy lifestyle in general is a long game. It's a marathon. And you want to be able to play that game, that long game for the rest of your life, hopefully. Right. Because, let's face it, if you and I talked about this the other day, if you don't invest, whether it be time or money or both, in your health now, you will later. At some point, you're eventually going to pay for not living a healthy lifestyle, whether it be you develop, I don't know, there's a lot of things that could happen, a heart problem, diabetes or
is a common one,
or any number of things that could happen from not living a healthy life. And sometimes you get these things and you are a healthy person. Those are rarities, and so there is exceptions, but you're going to pay for it now or you're going to pay for it later, and pay for it can mean two different things. Paying for it now is maybe investing the time to make sure you're working out, investing the time to make sure you're preparing proper meals for yourself most of the time.
Making the hard decision to get right back on track whenever you fall off, to kind of get us back on track.
Yep, exactly. Making the tough decision to immediately.
That's hard.
I just pounded a piece of pie. That's in the past.
Yeah.
You have to let that go.
I have a hard time with that.
I have a bad one. I have a bad time with that too.
Yeah.
And a bad time, hard time, whatever. It's gonna be a bad time. But you have to get the tunnel vision. You have to get the confidence in yourself that okay, you ate a piece of pie, but that's not who you are. That's not.
Do you know who Tom Bilyeu is, huh?
I know the
Tom
name.
Bilyeu, he's like one of the founders of Quest.
Okay.
He has a famous
He just
podcast.
sold it, didn't he?
Yeah, they sold Quest like 2 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, I say just sold it, but when you're a multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah. They has a podcast. I don't remember what it's called.
Not the greatest.
No, it's not only the greatest podcast, but Impact Theory is what his podcast is called.
That sounds familiar. Carry on.
Yep. He has a lot of famous people, celebrities and
people like us.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
But he has a drill that he recommends you write it down. I don't always write it down, but I think about it a lot. he says that you want to consider yourself the type of person that
we talked about this before. I think we might have talked about it on the podcast.
That I am the type of person that gets back on track.
Immediately gets back on track.
Yeah, exactly.
When and that's important, dude.
Yeah, because then you have that belief in yourself, that confidence. I am the type of person
that immediately gets back on track if I am to mess up. Basically, if I fall, I immediately get back up.
So you have to, and also just in fitness in general, I am the type of person that works out regularly. Yep. I am the type of person that makes healthy decisions. I am the type of person that can tell my friends no. Because that's a tough one.
That's a tough one too.
That's a tough one. Social pressure is the main reason diets fail.
Friends and family. I've been on both ends of it. I've pressured people and I've also been pressured by people. And I think I've probably pressured you, but you know,
at the end of the day, you want to be you want to feel like the type of person that makes the decisions that need to be made.
Yep.
Right. And you can get more specific with that. Was a very general term, but
yeah,
you can get more specific.
I think being specific is important too, especially with stuff like this. But yeah, to be the type of you ate the piece of pie. I'm the type of person that you can include it. Eats a piece of pie, pecan pie, that's delicious. And then he immediately gets back on track because that's who I am.
Yeah.
And guess what? That one piece of pie, that's not going to change the game. It's not going to change your life. And you don't need to get down and out about it. I'm not giving you a get out of jail free card, but if you do it planned or not, you get right back on track immediately.
I'll put it out there. If you're listening to this podcast, you're the type of person that gets back on track.
Yeah.
I think somebody's camera just stopped, and it was yours or mine.
All right. Well, we're going to get Phil rolling again here.
Yep.
Boom. All right. Phil's back online again.
So
we had a little GoPro issue, which is nothing new.
No, it's not.
You see the look on Phil's face. I think he wants to strangle his GoPro.
Yeah. New camera.
But yeah, man. So I feel like that pretty well covers kind of what and I think how this came about is one where the holidays are upon us. In fact, they're most of the way over now.
Yeah,
I mean,
almost.
If you consider October the beginning or November, we're halfway there. You know, to Christmas. Yeah, we were on vacation last week or week before last, and I trained as much as I could. We were gone for 8 days. I trained a handful of times, and you know, I didn't make the best diet decisions, and I did feel that kind of wearing on me while we were there. But man, the day that airplane landed back in Houston and we got home, I was in that kitchen cooking chicken and rice, beef and rice. I immediately got back on track when we got home, and it really did it really did a lot for me mentally. It made me it kind of restored that confidence, and just made me feel better in general, right? To immediately get back on track. It's gonna make you feel good.
Yeah.
That's the phrase I was looking for. It made me feel good to go. I'm the type of person who immediately gets back on track, and I went in there and I did it. And I've been pretty flawless since. You know, so it's just I felt like it was an important topic to cover. Coming back in town from a vacation, the holidays are upon us. I know a lot of people are facing these challenges, but yeah, be the type of person who plans for and immediately gets back on track, or the type of person who just says no thanks and moves on. I think those are the two best options during this time. So if you can that day, keep the calories lower. Maybe get an extra workout in, or like you did, you went on an extra long walk, get a little extra cardio in that day or the days surrounding that. But you know, Rome wasn't built in a day. Obese people didn't get obese in one day, not with one meal, and in shape people didn't get in shape in one day, not with one meal. That's not how it works. It's not the end of the world. Get back on track, man. That's all I really got to say. You got any closing comments, Phil?
No, I think you get it. Just on, you know, if you do a little bit, don't punish yourself.
Yeah.
You know, don't punish yourself for it. You know, don't go hit,
because that could, you know,
60 minutes on the stairs.
Well, that could turn into a vicious cycle too, right? Of, like you go hit 60 minutes on the stairs, and then, you know, it turns into this obsessive cycle of working out, training, like you said, the twice a day, 7 days a week type thing. Or it has the opposite, and you punish yourself, and you're like, well, I'm the person who can't stay on track now, so I'm just going to keep eating bad.
Ooh,
Next thing you know, you're a week in.
Before.
You're a week in, well, if I can't control this one meal, I might as well not control all the other ones.
I felt that way
just go off the
before.
rails. Absolutely done that. Definitely done that. So much worse. That's much worse, guys. You will feel much worse if you do that. So immediately get back on track. That's the main takeaway from this episode. Very relevant to the time of year that we're in. And man, I got another idea too. If you're having trouble getting on track, getting started, OTG Phil at OTG Fitness, man. He's my best friend, obviously, but he's a solid trainer. Has all the knowledge to help get you on track. All your trainers up there, man.
We're there to support and help,
Great facility. And I think coming up here, we're going to do an episode and kind of do like a health check on OTG, what's going on, because you've had some stuff going on at the gym. And we'll kind of talk about the brand and a few things that we're planning for and got going on. And I think it'll be an interesting show.
Sounds good.
Any other comments besides get back on track?
Nope. Just glad Jack was here to join us.
Well, I feel like this show is going to get, dude, we're going to break the internet.
No,
Jack.
With Jack?
With Jack here, dude.
He's like having a little dream right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, man. He's a dreamer. All right, y'all.
It's a good end.
Y'all have a good one. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah and holidays and whatever you celebrate, have a happy one, man. I'm going to have a happy one.